What is up, guys? Welcome to the show. I'm doing this in my car today because I'm just sitting waiting, so I might as well shoot a video, and I figured I'd shoot a video on my last thoughts on Wrestlemania is tomorrow, so I figured I'd shoot my final thoughts on Wrestlemania and everything like that. So we'll start off with the women's main event. I think this is going to be a great main event. I think it's going to be a great matchup. People are saying that this is actually Ronda Rousey's last match. It's actually not. Ronda Rousey has come out and did an interview a couple days ago with Fight, stating that she's under contract with the WWE until 2021, and she is after WrestleMania. She will be thrown into a feud with Chris Cyborg, who is also signing to the WWE. So this is not Ronda Rousey's last match, but I don't think she's going to win it. I think that's going to be a really great matchup, and I'm looking forward to it. Also, John Cena has stated in an interview with Fight that he's not going to be participating in WrestleMania. He doesn't have a match for WrestleMania. He will be making a WrestleMania appearance, but he will not be having a match at WrestleMania, and he's fine with that. He's come to terms with that. He's okay with that, which I think is all right. I know everybody's kind of bummed out about that, but I mean, you know, what are you going to do? Also, Undertaker has confirmed with Fight that he is going to be making a WrestleMania appearance as well. He also stated that he's not going to be having an in-ring match, but he will also be having an appearance at WrestleMania. Now, I'm not too sure what appearance these involved, but Undertaker and Elias have been hinting that he's going to be interrupting Elias during Elias's musical number at WrestleMania. So you're probably going to see an Undertaker beatdown on Elias, most likely, is what's going to happen. Also, Rey Mysterio has also confirmed that he's not going to be in WrestleMania anymore. He was removed from the pay-per-view following his injury on Monday Night Raw, where he suffered an ankle injury, and he's going to be out for the next 8 weeks. He's replaced with rumored to be Kevin Owens. KO Kevin Owens is rumored to have replaced Rey Mysterio in a matchup against Samoa Joe for the U.S. title, which, if that is true, I think that's going to be a way better matchup than Rey Mysterio versus Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe versus KO Kevin Owens is going to be a way better matchup, just in my opinion, because they're about the same style, about the same size. It's going to be a way better matchup for sure. Is this a great WrestleMania? No. This is probably, in my mind, one of the worst WrestleMania match-wise I've seen. I don't know about you guys, but I'm just really not into it this year. I mean, just the matches, I think they missed the mark big time with these matches. Also, Triple H versus Batista. Now, there's a story behind this matchup. Now, if nobody's seen the interview that Triple H did last week, he did an interview again with Fight, saying that he actually didn't want to be in WrestleMania. He didn't want to have a WrestleMania matchup. He wants to transition from in-ring personality to just head office personnel. He doesn't want to be wrestling anymore. He doesn't want to be in front of the camera anymore. He just wants to do behind the scenes stuff. He wants to be a part of the head office, which is where he's most comfortable now. Vince McMahon basically came up with the matchup and told Triple H that he's going to have a matchup at WrestleMania, and that matchup is going to be against Batista. So he was kind of forced into it, hence why the stipulation of Triple H putting his career on the line, because if he loses, that means that, again, he could step back into that back office or head office role that he's been wanting to do. He could step away from being in ring, and he could just do behind the scenes, which is what he wanted to do. So of course Triple H is probably going to lose that matchup because of that reason. So there you go. So he's probably going to lose because of that reason. But yeah, the rest of the match is not great. I know everybody's going nuts because Kofi Kingston's going to be have his pay-per-view. I don't think that Kofi Kingston really deserves that shot. It's just because it's like they're pushing like, oh, I've been here for 11 years, man. I deserve a shot. So what? Doesn't matter if you work for a company for 10, 20, 30 years. Does it mean that you should be manager because you work somewhere for 10 years? Does it really mean that you should take over as CEO of the company because you've worked there for 11 years? No, it doesn't. It doesn't mean that you should be the head of a company just because you've worked there for X number of years. There's guys that have worked with WWE and other wrestling promotions for 20 years plus, and they still haven't had a title. Like, it shouldn't really matter, and that's kind of what they're basing this whole thing on. Man, I've been here for it doesn't matter how long you've been there. So I don't think Kofi deserves a chance. Plus, he's got to be like a 205 live guy, right? Like, he's got to weigh about like, nothing. Like, the guy's got to weigh a feather, and he's a heavyweight gentleman. Like, that's just bull crap. So I'm not really into this year's WrestleMania. I think that this year's WrestleMania is going to be the worst WrestleMania I've ever seen. Guys are coming out in interviews saying, Baron Corbin, I know, has said that he's going to have him and Kurt Angle are going to have the best matchup that anybody's ever seen, and this and that. And I mean, everybody's coming out. Even Drew McIntyre's coming out saying, him and, whatever the fuck are going to steal the show and have the greatest match of all time. It's going to be such a horrible pay-per-view. I mean, look at what you have on the card, for God's sake. Like, Seth Rollins versus Brock Lesnar. Like, that's a horrible matchup, man. Like, that's not a great matchup. That's such a horrible matchup. It's so horrible. You got Drew McIntyre, versus Roman Reigns. That's such a horrible matchup. Like, come on, man. Who's going to win. Like, that's such a bad matchup. And look at the tag team matchups. I mean, they're so bad. Like, Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins or whatever the fuck versus a Revival. Like, that's such horrible matches this year. Like, I think that Vince and the WWE it seemed like they were not prepared for this year's WrestleMania, and they just threw a bunch of random crap together and went with it. Because I know that originally the original plan was WWE was going to have at Fastlane's main event originally was actually going to be Samoa Joe versus AJ Styles versus Daniel Bryan for the World Heavyweight. And then it was supposed to be Samoa Joe versus Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania. But of course, Kofi Kingston stole the show at Elimination Chamber. Hence, he's going. I think, it would have been better if they just stuck with the original plan for that. I mean, this year's WrestleMania just seems like it's just thrown together. No real rhyme or reason. It's a bunch of crap. Like I said, I'm not a fan of WWE, so you can take what I'm saying with a grain of salt or whatever the hell, but it's just, this is set to be the worst WrestleMania ever, I think, for sure. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Is this going to be a good WrestleMania or not? Are you looking forward to it or not? So far, what I've heard, nobody's looking forward to this. Plus, it's going to be so long as well. I know originally it was set for 17 matches, then they pulled it down to 13 matches, then it went up to 14 matches, and then it went back down again. So I know it's kind of teeter-tottering on the amount of matches that are going on, but I mean, still, it seems like the way they're doing it is just such a last-minute throwing together bunch of bull crap. But anyway, that's just my video for today. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. You know very much, and I'll check you in the next video.